Hi, I'm Sharon. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where we're working together step by step through the ABRSM Theory Grades. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets. They're available to download in US letter or A4 to accompany each step of this series. There's a page there with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can also find out about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and hints on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to make the best use of your time come exam day when you're working through your exam paper. So if you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find it's all there. If you can give me a like, that would be really super, and please do subscribe to my channel and please do share out the videos. And now we're going to continue with the 2018 practice paper for grade 5. We're going to look at paper A and we're looking at question 2. So if you turn with me to page 5, we'll make a start on this section here. And I always suggest, and I know I'm repeating myself here, but I always suggest that you try these on your own first of all. It doesn't matter if you go wrong. Now's the time to make your mistakes. It's best to learn by making your mistakes. Always work in pencil, and then if you go wrong, you can just rub it out and have another go. I use a mechanical pencil just so it stays nice and sharp, and that way you're going to stay neat and tidy. So I'm hoping you've had a crack at these, and now let's look at these together. So we're asked to describe these harmonic intervals. Harmonic intervals because they come together like a harmony or a chord, and although these two notes look like they're sort of next door to each other, it's not a melodic interval because they're squished right next to each other. We can't put them right on top of each other because they're so close. We'd sort of overlap, so they have to sort of squish them side to side. So this is a harmonic interval too. Now I do suggest that you have all of your major minor key signatures to hand, and it's helpful to have those written down before you start because you're going to refer to the key signatures in lots of different questions. So if you work through your circle of fifths and just get that list written out straight away, you've done all the thinking, and then you can just relax and refer to that. If you're not sure how to work through that circle of fifths that gives you your major and minor key signatures for all of your keys, if you follow the link in the cards and in the description, there's a tutorial that I've given explaining exactly how to work out that circle of fifths, and it saves you so much time. So do check out those links if you want to work that out. So you've got to have a quick knowledge of your key signatures for intervals. It also helps to have a piano keyboard just sketched out on a bit of paper. It doesn't have to be a work of art, but again on your scrap paper, because you need to visualise what's going on with the intervals. Because if you remember, major means greater, lesser means minor, so we can see how we can adjust these intervals by semitones as we go along. So first of all, the first part is to get the number of the interval, counting the bottom note as note 1. So here we have 1, 2, we have a second, so that's half mark straight away, easily done. And we have an A flat to a B. Now then, here we know that A to B is a major second, that's a full tone. And then the flat extends that interval, we augment it by lowering that bottom note, so we've gone from major to augmented because we've augmented that interval. So it's an augmented second. There we go. So now then here we have an interval that exceeds an octave. And although of course you can count the number of steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's a 12th. However, I prefer to jump the octave because then you haven't got to relearn which numbers are perfect. We know that fourths, fifths and octaves are perfect. So let's just jump up the octave, and now we know it's a compound interval, and then we can still think about perfects as fourths, fifths and octaves without having to learn another set of numbers. So here we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we know we've got a compound fifth of some sort. So that's half the mark straight away. Now then, G to D is a perfect fifth. G to D is a perfect fifth. And then because of the D flat, we've made that perfect interval smaller, and so we've diminished it. Remember, there's no major or minor when it comes to fifths. It goes from perfect to diminished. We've made it smaller, we've diminished it. So it's a compound diminished fifth. Alternatively, you could call it a diminished 12th, but you need to know that a 12th is perfect, and then we've made it smaller. So you could do that as well, that's also acceptable. So let's carry on now. So we're in the treble clef, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4th of some sort. So let's have a look at that. Now then, F sharp to B. So we can F sharp to B. Now if you're not sure if that's not a key that you're comfortable thinking in, we know that F to B flat is a perfect fourth. And so you can see it's just a parallel movement. Everything moves up a semitone, and so it's still going to be that perfect fourth. You can see it's just a parallel movement. So F sharp to B. There we go, that's it, I'm losing track where I am. F sharp to B, perfect. F to B flat, perfect. And you can see you've just parallel moved it. So there we go, perfect fourth. There we go. Now then, same thinking along these same lines here. Now we've got to create the interval. However, watch out, we're still creating a harmonic interval, so keep the intervals aligned as a harmony or a chord. So a sixth, the major sixth. Let's just get the blob in the right place first of all. 1, 2, 3 is the line, 4, 5 is the line, 6 is the space. So there we go. So this is an F, and in F major, D naturals would be part of that, and we can see that's a full major sixth, part of that major scale. So it's just a plain old major sixth. Nothing else needs to be done to change it to make that correct. So let's now move on to this one. We need to go to a fourth. We're in the bass clef. So 1, 2, 3 is the space, 4 is the line. So now we're going from A. At the moment we've gone A to D. So A to D would be perfect. And then to make it diminished, we've got the D flat. So we need to bring that top note that we've just written down. We need to diminish that perfect interval by adding a flat sign. There we go. So that's that question completed. Let's move on to the next question. Now question 3 is still that same sort of thinking. We're still looking at intervals, and we still need to be bearing in mind different key signatures, but now we're transposing a whole section of music. So this is written for the horn in F. We need to transpose it down a perfect fifth, so it sounds at concert pitch. When a horn plays a C, it sounds a fifth lower. So this is what we're doing now. We're going to transpose it down as this would sound. We don't use a key signature. I'm not sure why it is, but horns never have a key signature in orchestral music. They just have accidentals. I'm not sure where that originates from. But we need to put in all necessary accidentals. So we need to bear in mind what the key signature would be. So we start off by thinking what key we're in here. So if we imagine we're in C major, of course all of this will mean something else, but at the moment our starting point is C major, and if we drop down a fifth, we're dropping down to F. Remember, if a horn plays a C, it sounds an F, so we're going from C to F major as it now sounds. So we need to bear in mind the addition of B flats. We would just put a key signature in, but we've been told not to here, so we need to bear that B flat in mind. Now then, the next job is to just get everything mapped out, and I tend to just get the blobs in place now, and then we'll worry about the stems and so on afterwards, so that we've not got too many steps to think about. I keep all of my notes aligned exactly as I can with theirs, just so I don't get lost. I've got enough to be thinking about without wondering which note I'm on if I've staggered, so I don't make use of this second line. And then we just need to adjust to these accidentals, raising and lowering by semitones as we go along, and then I'll worry about everything else afterwards. So we're going to go down a fifth. Oh, I suppose we ought to put the time signature in. There we go. Right, now we're ready to go. So down a fifth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 takes us to a C. So same note again, C. Now down a step takes us to B. Now it would be B flat, however this F has been raised by a sharp, so what would have been the B flat has been raised and is now a natural. And because there's no key signature to cancel, there's no need to put anything. We just now leave that as the B because it's been raised to a natural, so we don't need to do anything with that. Stepping back up. Now we're going up a third, up another third, up another third. Now this time it's a bit of a redundant accidental sign here because it's just showing that this is an F natural. Of course it's an F natural anyway because the sharp only applies and accidental only applies for that particular pitch. So really there's nothing changed there. So we still need to adhere to this B flat as if we're applying the key signature because that's not changed it. Up a step, and let's just check we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, we are still in the right place. Now that's been lowered by a semitone, and so this will also be lowered by a semitone from a natural to a flat. Down a third, where that B flat is still active, so we don't need to write it again. Down another third, down another third, and we should be back where we started, and we are, so we know we're still correct. Now up a step and just double check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's our C, which sounds an F. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, C, which sounds an F. There we go, that's right. Up a third. Now this has been lowered by an accidental to make it a flat. This is a natural, so we'll lower that by a semitone and add the flat sign. Now we're going to drop down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's a 1, 3, 5 down from G, 1, 3, 5 down from G, which takes us to a C, which is where we started, so that should be the same note. So we're just double checking as we go along in various different ways. Same note again, up a step. Now then, that note has been lowered by a flat, so this is a natural that will also be lowered by a flat. Now we're going to go up 5, 1, 3, 5. That's still got the flat active, we don't need to do anything about that. Back down 5, that's still got the flat active, so we don't need to do anything. They haven't, neither shall we. Down a step takes us to the C, which is correct. There we go. Now we're going to go 1, 3, 5, 6, 1, 3, 5, 6, up a sixth. And we don't need to bother with the accidental still, that's still doing the job. And then back down to where we started on the C, yeah. And then we're going to go down a step. Now that takes us to the B. Now here this is an F natural that's been raised by a sharp sign. This should be a B flat because of our implied key signature, but if we raise the B flat up a semitone it becomes a B natural, and so there's no need to add anything there. So that's that done. Now that's the thinking done, and so really we've just got to decide which way the stems go now. So we're looking for which is below the middle line, so the stems go up, stems go up. Oh, by all means use a ruler. Perhaps should have done so there. Now then, we're going to have to make a decision here. These have the stems going up, that can go either way. This one should have the stem coming down, but it's been outvoted, so let's use a ruler, shall we? Oh, that's a little bit low. Got a bit carried away there with that one. Just tidy that up. This is why we work in pencil. And then here we have the same scenario. These should go up, that can go either way. So this one, that although it would require the stem to come down, it's been outvoted. So there we go. This is the nice bit, we've done all the hard thinking. These will have the stems going up. That's an easy choice. So will these. We're beginning and ending at the same pitch, so I'll keep that level. And same again here. There we go. And just that little one to finish. There we go. That's that job done. We're not required to put all of these extra articulation marks in. We've done what we need to do to earn the points. If you find you've got time at the end of the exam and you want to just put those last details, you can do, but that will do for now. We'll look at the next question in the next video. I do hope that's helpful to you. I hope it's helping you to get to grips with this grade 5 theory. These past papers are an excellent revision resource. I've gone through lots of years, so do check those out to help you with your revision and preparation for your exam. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. Please also do visit sharonbill.com and have a browse around all of the resource and information that's available there to help you. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.